Helldivers 2 creative director, virtue signals against DEI agenda that his publisher Sony embraces. So the guy, the creative director of Helldivers, this was a video that I saw a couple people make. Hypnotic talked about this, a couple others. I didn't get to cover it. I still might. I might even just clip this out and post it tomorrow as a video. But yeah, the creative director for Helldivers 2, virtue signals against the DEI agenda that his publisher Sony embraces. So Sony, they had Concord come out, which fucking failed. They are pushing Intergalactic with Naughty Dog. So for this guy to just openly come out and be like, yo, we're not doing that. So Johann Pilestedt, I probably butchered his name, the creative director for Arrowhead Game Studios and Helldivers 2, virtual signaled against the DEI agenda that its publisher Sony embraces. And it was a post ahead of New Year Day. And he asked his followers on X, he said, within 10 minutes to 2025, what are your expectations and desires for what the next Arrowhead game will be? I'm working on the high concept, but I would love to hear speculation. And Helldivers got a lot of good praise. I know there was a lot of situation with the community managers, like on their Discord. They were banning people that were laughing at furries and putting puke emojis underneath furry posts. And I hate Discord community managers. No offense if you're one of mine in here, but a lot of these other Discord managers and Reddit mods and all this crap, they're a bunch of snowflakes that censor and cancel, and they don't give good looks. And then on top of that, they just say stupid stuff on Twitter. I feel good that the creative director for this has their common sense. All right. Like D said, somebody in the gaming industry is using their common sense, and they know that they have people that want to buy their products, that Arrowhead is successful. And if they cave into this DEI initiative, it's going to ruin it. It's going to ruin it. Now, X replied to this saying, never add DEI to your games. And that's an important thing. A lot of people, I had people recently tell me nobody really cares about DEI. Nobody that's a normal gamer doesn't care about woke and anti-woke. No, they do. That's why nobody's buying the stuff, okay? The casual gamers aren't buying the stuff because it's woke. At the end of the day, maybe they're not tweeting about it. Maybe they're not making content about it. But at the end of the day, people see stuff and they're like, yuck. We don't want that. We don't want woke ideology. We don't want political narratives in our games at all. I ain't buying it. I'm non-binary, like they say, right? So Pilestedt, and I know I'm butchering his name, says, if it doesn't add to the game experience, it detracts, and games should be a pure pursuit of amazing moments. And I agree with that. I agree. Exactly. Because what was that saying that Elon Musk said? We talked about Elon earlier. DEI kills art. It does. Because then you become focused on a message. Like, oh, we have to have a checkbox. We have to have a checklist of representation and all this and that. We have to have this. We have to have a character. That we have to be sensitive to this. Instead of focusing on a good story, you're more focused on offending people. Making people happy. Not making this modern audience where you at that does not show up. They do not support anything. They never use their wallets. It's like they're activists that really don't care about what they're being activists for. Like all the stuff that they pledged for and stuff. Where was the support for Suicide Squad? That game failed. It flopped. Where's the support for Concord? Where's the support for Dustborn? Where's the support for every single little woke game that's come out and crashed and burned? Veilguard. It's not there because these people don't play games. And I hate to say that when people go, oh, well, this guy doesn't play games. That guy doesn't play games. No, these guys don't play games. They're more worried about culture wars. They're more worried about Twitter. They're more worried about being, I'm oppressed. I'm doing this and playing identity politics so they can all feel special in their Discords. Instead of adding to game experiences, you have people working in the game industry that don't know how to make video games. They don't know how to make video games. Oh, well, if you don't like it, then maybe you should make your own video games. That's what Nick Calandra says, right? I'm allowed to have my opinion, and everybody else is allowed to have your opinion. Quit damage controlling for these companies. Right? If you please everybody, you please nobody. And Shadow Gamer says, facts, I just want a good story-driven game. Now, apparently they were asked by another user by the name of Bikes and Vidya, saying, how would DEI have benefited Helldivers 2? And Pilestedt says, I don't like labels, but mankind is united in its extreme xenophobia on Super Earth. Hashtag inclusion, so maybe that's DEI. I really don't care. Make good games, don't make a contemporary political statement. I mean, based as hell. Based. I'm a fan of this guy now. I didn't even play Helldivers because that whole situation with the PlayStation Network account having to be required for Steam. I don't know. I might go out and buy Helldivers now for this. Okay? Because this is good. And I think more people should adopt this. I think more people should stop worrying about offending people. I think more people should stop worrying about placating to consulting companies, placating to companies that want to come in and do narrative consulting, sensitivity training, making sure that everything is politically correct so you don't hurt anybody's fifis. And that way that the journos that are in pocket with them don't write bad things about you. It's all annoying. It is all trash. It's all unnecessary garbage. We want to be entertained. And people go, well, right-wingers don't want politics in games unless it's their politics. No, I don't want any of it. Okay? Because they want only theirs. They project so much. Wokies only want their stuff. Can you imagine if there was a heavily right-winged leaning video game out there? They would throw a fit. The wokies would throw a fit. Just like how we rage bait grifters rage over it. They would throw a fit. They'd be like, this game needs to be canceled. This game shouldn't be made. Blah, blah, blah. If one side can't have theirs, no side can. Like earlier when we were talking about X. If you police one thing, you got to police everything. You got to police everything. So I would have no problem. Would I like it? No. I still wouldn't buy the games that are woke. But if they could have their stuff, we could have ours. And relax on it. But no, that's not how it works. And DEI is literally established so that all of these companies have some DEI department that comes in, hires DEI hires, makes sure that this studio is politically correct, and then the product they're putting on hates the consumer, hates the straight white men. I'm not white, but at this point it's becoming just where men are all bad. Now, who knows? This article takes a twist and kind of says that this guy doesn't mean his shit, right? It says, Pilestedt's comments appear to be good on the surface. When you look beneath it, it's apparent they're just a virtue signal and empty. I mean, him calling it out is a good. It says to elucidate that point, gamer GigaBear noted that he was banned from the Helldivers 2 Discord server and speculated the reason why was due to his support of Mark Kern, who's Grums, by the way. And a lot of people have Grums derangement syndrome. I know he's kind of a polarizing figure. I don't have an issue with him. In fact, I actually made a video about him in the past for one of his takes on Starfield. But either way, Discord mods are all like this. All like this. At least the woke ones, okay? My Discord mods are great. If you're not on my Discord, go to my Discord and become part of the conversation. My Discord's the best. But you can see they blocked him because of that. And then he showed a screenshot saying they must really hate Grums. So this is all speculation about why somebody was removed. They said they never communicated with it all. They probably could guess the reason for it. Furthermore, Pilestedt's claim that his game is not trying to send a contemporary political statement is disputed by his own employees. So this is, I think we made a video about this. Catherine Baskin, who's their community manager, made a tweet saying the game is pretty woke. Because Cerberus XT said the go woke, woke broke people have brain damage. There's no other explanation at this point. And it was on the is it woke, I guess, list. And people said this whole woke, not woke bullshit so goddamn exhausting. People just need to chill the fuck out and play some goddamn games. And they came out and said Helldivers is a pretty woke dog. Game was made by a lot of LGBTQ and brown people and black people, women, and is a big satire of jingoism. It amuses me they don't know that Super Earth is bad. I don't know. I mean, that's probably sarcasm. at the end of the day. But also, these people think just because LGBTQ people, brown people work on something that it has to be woke. I'm Mexican, and I literally have never used that as a reason to feel represented in something or to push a certain narrative and stuff. And then also, they were laughing about removing bigots, transphobes, homophobes, stuff like that. Now, this is a Discord mod. I don't know if they're paid by the official studio that made Helldivers. I don't even know if they make money being Discord mods. Somebody in the chat earlier said it seems like they have a 9 to 5 because that's all they do is sit on Discord. So it's hard to say whether this is the studio's fault that they have people like this, but it definitely doesn't do it any justice. Okay? And if it's not their fault, you could bet your bottom dollar Catherine Baskin is upset that the creative director is saying DEI doesn't belong in their next game. Because this is all these guys live for. They all just live and die by the DEI. Now, here's another moderator who came out here basically saying gender identity is not politics. It's literally someone's identity. They have a zero tolerance policy. So this is like rules on the Helldivers 2. I covered this on a video. This is back in June, right? If you're attempting to bait people by flagrantly injecting your sexuality in the convo just to start fights, that will also result in the timeout. Like, this is what Discord, like I say Discordian, this is Discordian behavior. And when I see, like, people that are always fighting, trauma dumping, over negative, spurgy, I don't like that. And again, like I said, this is when they were banning people for vomit reacting to art, like furry art, LGBTQ art. Like, this is how wild the Discord for Helldivers 2 got. Like, being triggered over vomit emojis, over fan art. See, if you want to vomit react furry art or be a joke about furry art, you're lining up for a 24-hour timeout by me. This mod, Hamburger with cheese, so fucking deranged. So, I don't know. And then apparently there was an alleged handbook for the game community managers talking about it. A new user declares that identity politics have no place in video games. Outcome immediate ban. This is direct. So this is for their community. I don't know if the community management team has anything to do with the creative director for the game. I don't know if there's a separation. So who knows if this creative director agrees with all this stuff, agrees with the DEI page on the fucking the studio's website itself. But I do think that, I mean, even just saying it, I mean, maybe he's faking the funk. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, in all honesty. Because, I mean, that's a pretty good call out saying DEI should not be around unless it adds. But that didn't exactly say, you know, a disavow of it. You know, I think one main thing that developers should fucking do and focus on is make sure that inclusivity and DEI and all this doesn't overshadow the gameplay quality. But that's something that's been happening. That's something that we haven't been able to get away from. Literally, like, every game that focuses on DEI misses the mark by a mile, guys. It's almost like they don't know who they're making the video games for. Now, I think if this is his true Pilestedt, I don't even think I'm saying his name right. If this is his real views, I think that I think there's literally a shift, all right? Especially with this election outcome and everything. There's a growing resistance against DEI, especially if it's performative, which again, like I said, I feel a lot of people are performative with their DEI efforts. I feel that they're just doing it so that they could not get canceled. Right? Does that make sense? Like, oh, I'm gonna make sure I fall in line. And they call us grifters. Like, they call us grifters because we're saying what you guys want to hear. We're rage baiting the correct news and saying the right views for you guys so that you're happy and you don't cancel us. When they're doing that, when they literally are making sure they're following woke ideologies, woke narratives, promoting DEI, having POCs, LGBTQs, just so they don't offend anybody. Is that not technically their definition of grifting? I would say that's exactly what it is. So I think it's hard being a consumer because we obviously want to have fun when we're playing something. Now, should certain writers and authors and people that make games have their creative expressions and stuff? Sure, okay? But when it becomes too overwhelming and it replaces the gameplay and the actual narrative and stuff like that, that's when it becomes a problem. And especially when they start attacking the consumer. Like, I would, if a studio wants to be woke, go ahead. But when I start seeing old tweets come up about crusty white guys and Trump and rage baits and right wingers and you're fucking fighting with right wing YouTubers that are giving an opinion, that's where it looks bad. When you're telling people you mad, bro, and stuff like that, when you're getting involved in culture war instead of just making games, that's when it's like, okay, cool. You're entering the dungeon. You're entering the Thunderdome. You're not immune to criticism at that point.